Okay, good morning. Let's just squeeze our shoulders up, pull them back, drop them down. Let's do that with a little rotation of our arm. Lift them up, open them up, drop them down. Roll them forward, lift them up, open up. One more time, lift, open, and relax down. Wide stance, hands on your thighs. Take that slow motion cat cow, tucking just your tailbone and pelvis area, and then bringing it into your low back area, and then bringing that into your rib cage and your thoracic, and then shoulder blades, and then full body. And then do that same cat cow by putting both hands on your right thigh, rolling and extending, rolling and extending, and then over to the left, roll and extend. And then find that cow position, really exaggerate that squeeze, pull the abs in, and bring yourself up. And we're going to start with that band underneath our right foot. And then it's going to be in our left hand. We're going to lunge out on that left leg, and we're going to do a little bicep curl here. Beautiful. Then we're going to leave the arm there. We're going to lunge a little more into that standing leg. Turn your right leg in a little, and then lift up. And then try and catch a moment of balance at the top. A little bit of bend in your left knee. Reach, press back, reach and press, reach and press, reach and press. And then if you're wanting to, you're going to do both at the same time. So you curl with that bicep as you lift through that leg on that little angle. Last two here. Last one, see if you can hold it up just for a moment. Bring it down, and all you're going to do is switch the band into your right hand. So right leg, right hand, and now it'll be a little bit more of a pure lunge. We're going to bring that leg up, quite a bit of balance here. Kick it back, bend it, kick it back, bend it, kick it back, bring it down. Curl, this time thumb up, bicep curl, so hammer curl. And then if you want to put those two things together, leg and hand are close together, and then you bicep curl as you kick the leg. Bicep and kick, and keep that going. Two more. Kick it out, hold it there. Woo! Keep the band in your right hand, but move the bottom, the little hoop, to your left foot, and we go back to that first exercise. So it's bicep curl again, and then it'll just be that diagonal lift, and then you put them together if you'd like. Launching into that right leg as you lift that left one with a little bit of turnout. Last two. And see if you can leave that leg up there. Bring it down. And now it goes into your left hand along with your left foot. Find that balanced position. Bring the knee in, kick it back, kick it back. Bring it down. Bicep curl, or I didn't say this on the other one, you could just bring your arms straight forward. And then as you're ready, put them both together. And bring that down. All right, let go there. Let's take a quick little stretch break. So let's go left leg over right and push that hip to the left. Arm comes up and relax over. back to center, right over left, support yourself with your left hand, push that hip, up and over you go, elongating the body, not just dropping into it, elongating and then lengthening over. And back to center. All right, grab your band. You have the option to keep it single, depending on how tight your band is, or fold it in half. We're going to be doing some lat pulls, so you can kind of decide what you think is going to be better for you. Going into a very wide stance. We're going to do the plie today, right? So we're going to come down, knees go out. Instead of booty out, we're trying to keep it kind of tucked under us. So just get that movement going. And then sit down in the plie. Come here, pull back and down for your lat pull. And then we'll add on, arms up, you come up, arms come down. So that's your movement together. Really squeeze those shoulder blades, engage. Beautiful, 2 more. We're going to sit this one down and hold it here and do a small pull in and down, or out and down, out and down, out and down. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Woo! Relax all that, shake it out. Stay in your wide stance. Bring that band behind you. And then we're going to be doing, this is going to be a shoulder. You're going to feel it a little bit in your chest, but I'd like it a little more about your shoulder. So sit down in your plie again. And arms, you may have to bring them in a little, and then you're going to bring them out and up, out and up. We're going to sit as low as possible in that plie so it becomes just an isometric hold. So see if you can get your thighs parallel to the ground. Adding on, you could lift those heels. Almost there. Hold it and bring that up. Woo, shake that out. And then one more, kind of doing not the opposite, but to work the backside of our shoulders. We're going to bring those arms straight, but with tension. Bring them a little further forward so your shoulders retract, and then protract, and then retract. Protract and retract. So I'm trying to keep my arms fairly straight and just bring that movement here into the shoulder blade area. Straight arms, pulling back and pressing forward, pulling back, pressing forward. Doing your best to keep your head in line. 2 more. And relax. Woo. All right, and then all we're going to do now is hold that band, stretch it out, overhead, reach. Just a nice chest opener here. As much as you feel like you can handle. And then relax that down. All right, let's go ahead. Set your band down on the ground, and then you're coming down. Seated position. Bring that band around behind your thighs. Let's double it up for now, please. So you have a little stronger band, also a little more support. It's behind your hamstrings. Biceps are facing you. Give yourself a very gentle roll down onto your spine, and then hug those knees in. Put the band into the band in your left hand and pull those knees over to your left. Reach over with your right hand, and you're going to mostly use your right hand and your left elbow to bring the knees back through center and over to the right. Just a little twist here. Then reach with your left hand and grab that band, and back to center we go. And then one more time, we'll just hug those knees in and then feet on the ground. All right. Hands by your side, palms facing up. Deep breath in. On the exhale, use your biceps a whole bunch to lift yourself up. But then you challenge yourself to let go, reach, stretch through those fingers. Biceps again help you lower. Inhale. Exhale to lift. Inhale to stretch and reach. exhale, lower yourself down. So that's option one, right? Option two, you're going to exhale, lift, inhale, reach the arms overhead this time, and then exhale down. So it becomes our ab prep. Either way that you're doing it, it's either a half roll up or an ab prep. And you can keep your head down, you can lift up and reach your arms overhead, or you can keep your head down and just use that control to keep your ribs flat when your arms go overhead. So you have a couple different options, right? Option one, partial roll up. You lift yourself up, you stretch, you lower yourself down, using your arms as much as or as little as possible. You have poke a hole in the ceiling, reach the arms overhead, or you have that, but head stays down. By this time we should be should be well into many of these, so come on back down. And now we're going to do two options with our legs. So same thing, band is folded in half. Bring it behind your right hamstring. Put that right hamstring in tabletop. Roll yourself up and lower yourself down. Adding on, roll yourself up, push the leg away, pull the arms in, and then try and do both at the same time. So that isometric contraction. And then if you want, you're going to add a lift of that left leg pointing. So it basically turns into something very similar to single leg pull, not single leg stretch in this position. Then bend that left knee, put the foot on the ground, come back down, bring that band behind your left hamstring, bring yourself up, lower yourself down. Bring yourself up, stay here this time, press away, pull back, and then both at the same time. Adding that right leg if you want, isometric hold here, and then release. All right, so that's your first option, but we would be alternating, right? So we'd have both in tabletop, we pull and press. Actually, wouldn't be alternating, sorry. Let me show you the other option if that was too much. Actually, that was the easier option. Sorry, I'm confusing myself today. Band across the top of the thigh, other leg reaching, that's your more challenging version. But if you feel that too much in your back, you're going to do version one. So if you're here with me, option is press and pull, press and pull. My left toe is reaching, my hands are stretching, right? Or I'm doing that exact same pattern, but with that band behind my hamstring. Press and pull, press and pull, press and pull. So you're just going to do 4 more on that right leg. And then when you're ready, you'll move to the left. And again, your first option is press and reach, press and reach, press and reach, or band comes behind you, pull and press, pull and press, pull and press. So pick your poison, please. And you'll do 6 more on that left leg, please. And then when you finish that last one, we're going to bring that right knee in. We're going to lasso around the top of the foot. So the band goes over the top of the foot and then it crisscrosses behind the arch. So it looks like that. It's captured. And then bring that band into your right hand so much that it lifts your shoulder blade off the ground. And then put your shoulder blade down. Lift it up. Pull it down. Lift it up. Pull it down. Lift it up one more time, pull it down, leave that shoulder blade down, point the toes, start a little circle. You're going to go both ways, alternating, inhaling to start your leg circle, exhaling to finish. The name of the game here is that there's stability in your hips. Even though your leg is moving, your hips stay nice and quiet. If you want to, you can actually move that band or your hand so the elbow is doing the support here. And if you have the flexibility to stretch the left leg out on the ground, feel free to do that. And then you can start to make those leg circles bigger. But again, it's about control, keeping those hips nice and quiet while you make these larger movements. And then we're going to bend that knee, uncross that band, right foot on the ground. Band goes across the top of the left foot and around behind, crisscrossing behind the arch. Left hand chokes up on it till the shoulder blade is off the ground. Then we press down and lift up, press down and lift up, press down and lift up. Two more, press and lift, and then press, leave that there. Again, you're welcome to bend that elbow, start your circles, point the toe, inhale to start your circle, exhale to finish it, and go opposite directions. You can make that circle bigger. You can stretch that right leg out on your ground. And hips stay quiet. What's this? Just a couple more. There's the girl. Thank you. And then back to center we go. And we're going to untangle those feet. And we're going to take the band across the tops of both feet and then around behind the arches so it looks like that. And then once again, let's do our shoulder retraction and protraction. And then you can, again, either rest your elbows on the ground if that's easier, or you can have your arms straight. Back of the neck is long, point your toes, pull your belly button in, flatten those ribs. Inhale, slowly lower those legs. Exhale, come back up. Now, because we're using the band for double leg lower, which by the way, this can be toe touch if that long lever is too much on your back, right? It would look like this instead. Either one is absolutely fine. It's the same muscles that we're focusing on, trying to keep those low abs flat, those ribs not popping up in the sky. But because you're using your biceps, you could really focus on your form. Or you can just kind of ignore the fact that you're using your biceps and just use your abs. But since we have the bands, sometimes it's kind of nice to use them to our advantage. And you might even be able to slow it down a little more than usual. You may be able to go an inch lower so long as your low back isn't moving up and down. Your tailbone is staying nice and flat. And then bring that up. Put that band in your right hand. You can wrap it around if you feel like that might be more secure. And let the legs move to the left with the left arm to the left. And then back to center. And over to the left. And back to center. And once again, you can do this in tabletop, right? If that long lever feels like too much. So I'm only going left and then center, where the legs are straight or bent. And then come back to center. Let the legs go to the right only. And back to center. And to the right. And center. And to the right. Center. Last one, right. And center. Woo! Band wraps around your left hand. And legs go right again. And center. I think I'm going to feel these tomorrow. And then this time the legs go left and center and left and center. A couple more. Last time. And center. All right, keep those legs where they are. Bring your hands way up on the band so they're really close to your ankles. Point those toes and lower them forward. Roll your shoulders out of your ears and allow those legs to roll you up. But you're going to stop before the legs hit the ground. Pause here. And then you're gonna roll your upper body down as those legs come up and pause. Rolling and rocking. Just a few more here. And last time, bring it up, hold it here. See if you could maybe lift those elbows up, get that upper back extended, lift those legs a little higher, but lift that chest higher too. And then bend those knees, feet on the ground. Ooh, sit tall, thumbs up, rowing motion. Hi, hi. And then legs can stay bent or go straight. Use those elbows to hinge yourself forward in your spine stretch. You just can't help yourself, can you? From this position, bend your knees, put your feet on the ground, and roll yourself just part of the way back this time. Use your biceps, bring yourself up. Inhale at the top, exhale to hinge back. Don't touch the pad, and back up. So just moving through a roll down. Then if you want to add a little challenge, next time you roll back, see if you can open your arms a little bit, and then pull yourself up. And again, as we've been doing, you can use your arms as much or as little as you want to. Keep that going for me. All right, this time you're going to stay up. You're going to keep the bands exactly as they are. So remember, they're still across the tops of your feet and in between your arches. And you're going to put them, you're going to be lying down on your side, if I may, please. Thank you. All right. Create your little waistline, mouse house with your waistline. Hand down on the ground, so it's not going to lift and lower. And you're going to lift that top leg till it meets resistance, which might be fairly soon. Make sure your waistline is lifted. Turn the toes down slightly, lift an inch, pressing up against that resistance. So hopefully you guys can feel this. I sort of felt it right away. Relax. You're going to bend the knees and bring them out to the corner of your mat. You can keep the bottom knee bent or you can straighten them both. And here we go again. Toe turned down, remember. And relax. One more level, bend those knees, tuck them up, and then they send out. So they're right at your hip. I forgot to knuckle down on the last one. And here we go. Straight leg lift. Oh, ow. Toe pointed down. Might not have very far to go. And relax. I hope you guys felt those. All right. Keep your legs lassoed. You can use your band to help lift yourself up and over. And you're going to stretch out on your other side with your arm underneath your ear. And then once again, your hand is on the ground, so it's not going to lift and lower. Legs are in that long straight line, top leg lifts, toe turned down, and we press up. And then bend both knees, move them to the corner of your mat, straighten them back out again. And here we go again. Toe turned down, waistline lifted. And relax. Ooh, here comes the main one. Bend your knees so they're at hip level, straighten those legs. Knuckle down, waistline lifted, toe turned, down and lift. And relax. Woo! Give that hip some love. Oh my goodness. All right. While you're there, just kind of untangle your band and you're going to flip over onto your abs, and that band is just straight across your sacrum. Forehead rests on the ground, hands come down by your side, palms face up, and then walk your hands so that your thumbs are only a couple inches apart. Straighten out both legs. As always, you'll press into your toenails, but lift your kneecaps. You'll push into your pubic bone, but create space underneath your belly button. So thighs are engaged, belly button is engaged, hips are tucked slightly. And then the first thing we want to do, if your shoulders are rolled forward at all, is lift them up, let them droop, lift them up, let them droop, lift them up, let them droop. One more time, lift them, droop them, and lift, and they stay. Stretch your fingers out, reach behind you, head, neck, and shoulders might lift off the ground a little bit, and then you're going to rotate your palms to toward each other and reach through those fingers, holding, exhaling down, deep breath in, exhale, stretch, reach, lift, holding, and down, deep breath in, exhale, stretch, reach, lift, and down. Inhale to prepare, exhale, stretch, reach, lift, and down, and do it 4 more times. And last time, we stretch, we reach, we lift, we hold. Ooh, relax. Press it back, let those hips sit back on your heels, arms out front, down by your sides. You can make little fists and give yourself extra space if that would feel good. And then as you come forward, we're just going to undulate to a cat-cow. And then we're going to take that band around behind our armpit. And then right angles with your hands, and you want to have some tension already on that band, right? So you don't want a saggy band. And then mosey your way out onto your forearms, thumbs stay up. And here you are in a pre-plank. So toes are down, shoulders are back and down, hips are going to lift. And then as small movement as possible, just press your shoulder blades against the band, release it, press it, release it. Try to create this movement just at your shoulders. Your ribs and hips are going to move, but initiate it right against that band. And then if you want to, roll into the tops of your thighs, same thing. Press against the band, press against the band. As I said, the rest of my body's going to move slightly, but it starts there. And then finally, if you want, tuck your toes, same thing, press against the band. And relax. Woo, let's lie down, just windshield wiper your legs side to side. And relax. All right, we're going to press up. We're going to come up into a seated position, and we're going to lasso that band once again across the top of our right foot and around behind the arches. And then both knees are going to be bent for now. Pull those glutes out from under you. Sitting up nice and tall. Okay. So spine is nice and tall. Just for now, holding it in your right hand, left arm off to the side, hinge, bring that left arm forward, grab the band with your left arm, pull yourself into it without lifting that hip up. So push the hip back, pull yourself, push back, pull self, do both at the same time, right? So I'm walking myself forward. I'm gonna take my right arm and rotate, and I might use my bicep to hinge myself a little bit into my saw, right? But it's not a drop and round. Stay tall and hinge. Come back to center, grab it with that hand, open up. Here we go again. Grab it, pull yourself forward, rotate, open, hinge, inhale tall, open it up. Exhale, twist, reach, hold on the inhale, exhale back to center, inhale, open, exhale, stretch, reach, pull it across, hip stays down, mine was lifting. One more time, inhale, open, exhale, twist, reach, and back to center. Bring that in. What are you doing, cray cray? And bring that band across the top of your left foot and around behind, crisscrossing. And again, you might be keeping your knees bent the whole time or not. It's going to be in your left hand. Sit tall, right arm off to the side. Exhale, bring it across, grab the band, shoulder down. Make sure this back hip doesn't lift. Back arm reaches, and then pull yourself, if you like, a little bit into it. Back to center, grab it, inhale, sit tall. Exhale, grab it, hinge it, inhale, open. Back to center, exhale, inhale, open. Exhale, pull, bend, inhale, open, reach. Exhale, center, and open. Two more like that. Exhale, inhale, exhale, open, and be really conscious of that back hip. And release. All right, untangle that. And then you're coming back over onto your spine again. Leave the band for a moment. Just hug both knees in. Take a little rock side to side. Right foot on the ground, left knee crosses over. Drop the knees to the left. Take a moment here. Press up back through center. Walk the foot to the right and drop the knees to the right. Press up back through center, uncross, right over left, drop the knees right. Press up, foot to the left, drop left. All right, and now what we've been working up to, we have lots and lots of options, okay? Option one is as simple as what we did at the very beginning, band behind your hamstrings and you lift yourself up, right? You probably hold at the top on an inhale, you can reach, and then exhale down. That's option one. Option two, you'll remember we had those feet lassoed, band across the top. And we did this from a seated position. We hinged back and came back up, right? You can do that, or you can do that from that lying down position. So I'm going to pull myself up, maybe reach my hands, and come back down. Option two. Another option is to leave the upper body alone and do our double leg blower again. And again, it could be straight legs or it could be bent knees. So this is, already three options. Next option, things start to get a little spicy. Legs go out on an angle. You have to walk yourself way up to that band and then find the angle where you can keep the legs where they are and just lift yourself up to that point, right? And then you'll lower yourself down without the legs moving. And if you have a cat underneath you, it keeps you really honest. Or next option, you could come up into that balanced position and lift and lower those legs without moving the torso. And then we all know the final option, and that is we put everything together, which means I'm going to come from a dead stop into what some people call a V-up, but we call a teaser in Pilates, right? So for me today, not loving that. So I'm going to be here. So you have so many options: bent knees, straight legs, just torso, both at the same time. And then if you're doing full teaser, on your next one, meet me here. See if you can lift that chest. And bend the knees. Woo! And relax. As you come down, let's do the lovely stretch by putting our right foot in the band. So it's parallel with the band. And then I'm going to grab everything with my right hand, but I'm going to take the front of the band and I'm going to go like that. So it really pulls those toes toward me. Then I'm going to grab that. So I have a very significant stretch right now on my calf and even in my foot. I'm going to pull my shoulder down. And then I'm going to press my ball of the foot to the sky and then point the toes. And then the toes are going to come back, flex through the ball of the foot and press through the heel. I'm going to do that same thing with my toe turned out. So I'm going to push through the ball of the foot and then press through those toes. Toes come back, ball of the foot hinges, heel comes up. Then I'm going to do that with my toe turned in, ball of the foot and toes, and then toes, ball of the foot. Then I'm going to give myself a little bit of slack so I can let the right elbow rest on the ground and the right leg hangs in space. Left leg can go off to the left. Inner thigh stretch, some hamstring, the closer you bring it to your forehead. Reach over with your left hand, bring that back through center, straighten your left leg, flex through the left heel, let the left elbow rest on the ground, toe turned in. Now it's an outer hip stretch. You can bend that knee and change that stretch a little bit. And then straighten it out. Bring the knee into your chest and then choke up on the band so that it's tightly in there, right? And now the challenge is, without sliding your hands through the band, try to straighten the leg. You shouldn't, hopefully you're not, I mean, that'd be awesome if you could, but most of us are going to get to a point where we try to straighten and we start shaking, which is awesome, sort of. And then slowly let that band lower yourself down. You can let go. Take a moment. Right leg should feel fantastic. And then bring it back. Right knee bends. And we put our left foot in the band. Again, nice parallel position. Tighten it up and then really grab the front of it and pull those toes back and down. Left shoulder goes back down on the ground if you can get it there. Push through the ball of the foot and then point through those toes. And then the toes come back, ball of foot comes back, heel up. Angle it out, pigeon foot or duck footed. Toes, ball of foot, heel, and then angle it in, pigeon toed. Ball of the foot and toes push, and then they come back and heel up. Give yourself a little slack. Left elbow rests on the ground, leg hangs in space, right leg can open up a bit. Use your right hand, bring all that back through center, straighten out the right leg, turn your toes in, right elbow rests on the ground. Ooh, feel that delicious stretch in your left hip. You could play with bending the knee, see how that works for you, where you feel that stretch change as you bend and straighten. And then reach over with your left hand. We're going to bend the knee in so that the chest, ribs, and the thigh are touching. Then we're going to choke up on that a whole bunch. Deep stretch. And then just slowly see how much you can straighten the leg without moving that band. And then you'll lower that leg gently. And then you can let go. And hopefully that whole body feels elongated. So let's reach through the fingers, stretch through the toes. Flex through the heels, press the low back into the ground. And then bring everything back into a bent knee position. Right ankle across left thigh, press it open. Feel free to thread your needle. Reach for the shin if you can reach it, hamstring if you can't. Bend the elbows to bring that closer. Move them a little to the left and bend them again. Ooh, deep stretch. With the legs in that position, move them over to the left. So a different kind of twist. And then with them over to the left, tuck the left knee behind the right, and then let them drop again to the left. So that tight twist. Press everything back up through center, uncross. Left ankle over right thigh, push it open, reach for your hamstring, or if you can, your shin. Bend your elbows for a closer pull and a deeper stretch. Move to the right for deepening and hug in again. Ooh, baby. Foot on the ground, knees drop over. And then bring the right knee under the left, drop to the right. While you're on that right side, uncross your legs, bring your right arm underneath your ear, roll onto your right side. Use your left hand to push yourself up and flip yourself over onto all fours. And hands way out front, we'll undulate forward and back, cow-cat. And then hands tucked under our shoulders, find a neutral spine, tuck your toes, lift and hold. Press up, pedal out. Wide stance, walk back, hands on your thighs, cat and cow. Big deep breath in. Thank you guys.